Hello, everybody. How are you today? It seems that Dave Batista has done a video mocking Donald Trump, and Matt Walsh has done a commentary on it. This came out a little while ago. I hadn't gotten to it yet, but I did want to take a look at this. So why don't we take a look at this together, all right?
And in this case, it is the actor Dave Batista who is flinging the insults. Let's check it out.
Fellas, we gotta talk. A lot of men seem to think that Donald Trump is some kind of tough guy. He's not. I mean, look at him.
I can honestly tell you that from what I've heard about Dave Batista, and this is during his wrestling days, that if somebody had lit as much as a popcorn fart next to him, he would have dove for the bleachers. Okay? Seriously.
He wears more makeup than Dolly Parton. He whines like a baby. The guy's afraid of birds. Donald Trump had his daddy pay a doctor to say his little feet hurt so he could dodge the draft. Look at that gut. Like a garbage bag full of buttermilk. He sells imaginary baseball cards pretending to be a cowboy fireman. Guy's barely strong enough to hold an umbrella. I mean, look how he drinks water. Like a little pink chickadee. He's got jugs. Big ones. Like Dolly Parton. He cheats at
Like you will have when you get off the steroids.
golf. He creeps around beauty pageant dressing rooms. You know that little dance he does? He looks like he's a pair of giraffes. He's moody, he pouts, he throws tantrums.
No, get those lights off!
He acts like a 5-year-old behind the wheel of a truck. He bends over for Putin. He's cattier on social media than a middle school bean girl. The guy needs help walking downhill. Almost there, Grandma. So this November, let's stop kidding ourselves. Donald Trump is afraid of rain, of dogs, of windmills.
So you get the idea. Now, there are two problems here. And the first is that Dave Batista is an actor. And before he became...
Okay, he's going to go over this in a little bit, I'm fairly certain. But no, Dave Batista is not an actor. Okay, Dave Batista is a presence. All right, Dave Batista was in Dune because his character's name was the Beast, Raban. All right, and Dave Batista fits that bill completely. All right, I mean, seriously, if you knew anything about the character, he doesn't have to do much except sit around and look menacing. I mean, and that's pretty much stretches Dave Batista's talent right there.
Became an actor, he was a professional wrestler. So
And he wasn't even all that good either, okay? I'm just going to have to get into this one. I mean, honestly, he is one of that few group that was Triple H's favorites, all right? And if you were into wrestling now and weren't beforehand, then you might have heard him by his real name, and that it eludes me at this point in time. But Batista was one of Triple H's favorites. And when you were one of Triple H's favorites, you got the push. Okay? Sheamus got the push too. And I even like Sheamus. All right? But that was like one of the things. So, I mean, first off, that was that. Second off, Dave Batista was one of the reasons why I stopped watching wrestling. Okay? It all became, all of a sudden, this big muscle guy who just blew through everybody. And it just wasn't interesting anymore. But then again, you know, I never really got over the end of the Attitude Era.
he's been pretending to fight for his whole career. Batista is prolific at make-believe. He's very good at pretending to be a tough guy. Now, it's true that he could certainly beat Trump in an arm wrestling contest. You have an advantage when you take steroids. Not that I would ever accuse a professional wrestler of taking steroids. It's not like literally all of them are. I'm just making a general comment unrelated to the topic at hand. Anyway, Batista has more muscle mass than Donald Trump, but only one of those guys has actually been shot in the head in real life and then stood up and pumped his fist in the air like a badass, okay? Only one of those guys in real life has stared his own mortality in the face twice and remained totally unfazed by it. Like,
Dave Batista has been referred to as a soft, big guy by people in the know. You know, always cold, his wife told him everything to do, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, he's one of those.
shockingly unfazed. Trump is actually doing the real tough guy stuff that Batista pretends to do. Trump was covered in real blood. For Batista, in his movies, it's fake blood. Trump had real bullets flying at him. Batista, on the other hand, has been repeatedly shot by CGI effects. So the guy who's been pretend shot doesn't get to puff out his chest and act manlier than the guy who's been real shot. Okay? That's not how it works. The second problem, and we don't need to, belabor this point very much, but I will say again, is that even if Batista was a real tough guy and not just a pretend one, he still wouldn't be able to play this game with Trump that he's trying to play here. Because if you're on the left, you don't get to mock other men as wusses, accuse them of not being man enough, call them women as an insult, which he does in that video, calls them grandma.
Okay, this video was absolutely nothing but a cry for help from Dave Batista. All right, this is him signaling to Hollywood, or leftist Hollywood, hi, I'm fighting the good fight. I'm against the evil orange man. Please put me in a movie. And that's pretty much what all that was. Okay, Dave Batista's been shopping himself around as an actual actor. And that, I still haven't figured out how pathetic that actually is.
By the end of the video, calls him a little, that's the word he uses. So mocking a man by calling him a woman, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. Your ideology precludes that. You are on the side that rejects masculinity, any notion of traditional masculinity. You deny that being tough and strong and stoic has anything to do with being a man. I mean, what if it was true that Trump cries all the time and is weak and effeminate? I mean, it's not true. Again, this guy was shot in the head and was unfazed. But if it was, according to your ideology, well, you can't judge him for that. That's perfectly fine. He's just being emotional, in touch with his emotions. You should celebrate that. You
should go out and have a beer with Tim Walz.
Deny that being a man has any meaning whatsoever. You deny that the word man even has a definition to begin with. Hey, Dave Batista, what is a man? I bet you can't answer that question, you wimp. You're playing the tough guy routine when an elementary school biology test would reduce you to tears. Now, I understand that because you're on the left, you also think that you can change the rules whenever you want. You think that you can spend decades telling us that masculinity is toxic and then turn around and mock Trump for allegedly not being masculine enough.
What do you think about that, guys? I mean, honestly, send some comments in. Let me know how you feel about the left right now mocking Trump for his masculinity or his perceived lack of masculinity, yet they decry masculinity in all of its forms. Let's talk about that.
But it doesn't work that way. You might want it to work that way, but it doesn't, which is why this routine falls flat. It's why every attempt by the left to reclaim masculinity and appeal to men during this election cycle has been met with mockery and scorn. Men aren't falling for it. We aren't buying what you're selling. You've been dumping on us for years. You've tried to feminize society with great success, unfortunately. You're literally trying to turn our sons into girls, and now you want to turn to us and say, yeah, Donald Trump isn't manly, right, fellas? Get a load of this guy. You don't have the right to even talk about manliness, much less present yourselves as its exemplars. You are an avowed enemy of masculinity. You want to abolish and destroy it. That's your own agenda. You've been very clear about it. And on the other hand, Donald Trump not only proved his masculinity by surviving 2 assassination attempts, but has also never attacked men or masculinity. It's one of the many reasons we prefer him to whoever Democrats trot out, and it's why we're not listening to frauds like Dave Batista. It's also why Dave Batista is today canceled.
Well, this is Matt Walsh's area, Matt Walsh's YouTube. Go to it. Have a good time. But yeah, what do you think about all that? What do you think about that takedown of Matt Walsh on Dave Batista? Honestly, Dave Batista is like below C-list. I mean, seriously, he's a presence. I mean, he's not even talented enough to get up to Arnold Schwarzenegger's level. And honestly, and Arnold Schwarzenegger knew where he was, and that was one credit I would give to Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, by all means, guys, like I said, leave some comments. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me what you think about his Dave Batista's little video there, or what Matt Walsh had to say about it. Like, share, subscribe. Okay, give me those subscribes. It's coming up on October 31st. I will eat my kids' candy. Looking for that 100. Anyway, thank you very much, folks. Talk to you later.